Hi, this is Adekyn with another Grand Ages Rome video. This time we're looking at how to build a large city, and I wanted to just kind of share with you my theory for building them. You can see I'm circling the areas where we had built on that Romanization mission, and you might want to go back and look at that one. And we've already started adding to it, but as you can see here, I'm circling. There are actually, it turns out, six butcher, baker, and tavern combos with the religion and the whole bit already built here. And we're going to just keep building more and more of those and expanding as long as we can keep coming up with the materials we need to build and with the proper food and resources to supply the needs of our citizens. We will just keep right on building, and we're going to build along all the waterways and wherever we can do aqueducts. Like up here, here's an example of just starting a new block. This is just a new block where there's water, so we're just going to start it up, and here we're going to kind of jump forward and see this is kind of what it ends up looking like. You just end up building a block. And if any of you are old Pharaoh players, you'll recognize this idea of the city block, where you can kind of replicate a pattern, if you will. The difference here is it's not a strict pattern. You can vary it. In fact, each one of these little communities, I call them, definitely looks unique, but they all have common characteristics: the max religion, the strong entertainment, the strong food, because we kind of set them up in this three-ring idea: inner ring of core buildings, second ring of housing, third ring of global buildings that either impact globally or things like resources or trading posts or things like that. So you have inner ring, second ring of housing, outer ring of other buildings. And so here we kind of jump forward to kind of show you how it's going to shape up and look. And we're adding our religion. We've already got our entertainment and food there in the middle, and that one's going to turn out fine, and we're just going to keep going. So now you can kind of see where we've progressed and kept building, and we're just going to keep going down that riverbank because we can get water. And the thing you really have to do is start monitoring, how many supplies you have, how much food, how much wheat, how much linen, etc., and just watch out. And you may have to exhort to importing some of it. In fact, for this particular one, I ended up importing marble, meat, wheat, and olive oil in order to support the growing needs of the city. I could not produce enough on the map, even with everything maxed out research-wise and leveled up. I couldn't produce enough, so I had to import. But that's fine. You got plenty of cash flow. At the end of this one, we ended up with about 18,000 denarii a minute income, even with all the importing. So money's not your issue here. So we just keep building. We keep building along the river. Here I'm setting up some more tailor shops because it'll amaze you how many tailor shops you're going to need for the clothing if you have all the patrician houses that if you go with patrician heavy builds like I do, you're going to need a lot of clothing, a lot of olive oil, all that stuff. So you just keep building like this. You build along the waterways. That defines where you're going to build. You keep watching your levels. You import where you need to, and you basically just keep repeating these blocks over and over, and you end up with something like this. You end up with a pretty good sized city, 362 houses. All the ratings were over 90%, 100% health rating, over 1,000 recruits. I could have built a ginormous army if I'd wanted to. As I said, I imported marble, meat, wheat, and olive oil. Could be different things on different maps, obviously, depending upon your circumstances. But at any rate, those are my thoughts about building a large city. And again, this one's 362 houses, so I guess that qualifies as pretty big. And so I hope this has helped you. I hope it's given you some ideas for how you can kind of keep your large cities under control so that you can keep your ratings up and end up with high ratings at the end of a very large build.